between me and you.
Yo, I hope you're having a good day today. It's been a while since I posted, but I've been busy. Been making some content I hope you guys will enjoy. So, I started multiboxing roughly a year and 4 months ago now. And started off small, just wanted to be able to do heroics, gear up some new guys, that kind of thing. But then I kind of got a bug up me and I wanted to be able to do more. And this is kind of a journey of me going through and trying to do some old TBC raids, gear up my guys, enhance my skills. But it's not always been smooth. So I've had to go through a lot of changes in my team composition. I've had to level a lot of new characters to do what I want to do. 5 is not enough, 10 is not enough, need more characters. So, first time I went through and wiped because I had no physical DPS and I couldn't kill the bosses, just not enough damage, not enough heals. So I made 5 more guys and, hit it again. These characters are not, naked. They have at least 5.3, 5.5, some are 5.8. And as you see, that plan didn't even work.
Believe me, I'll do it! I believe you.
So I had to reshift again and make more guys. So at that point I was at 15, approaching 20, and I was like, I might as well just make 25, It's a large investment of time, but in order to stand out on YouTube and, do what I want to do furthermore, I had to increase my damage, and the only way that I could do that as a solo multi-boxer is to just get more characters and gear them up and fine-tune my skills. So, going through doing 10-man, the weekly quests, gearing them, getting 50 emblems of Frost, 50 emblems of Triumph, and then the boss drops 1 or 2 times 10. So I got 10 guys in the raid. Doing VOA, 10-man, sometimes 25-man when I work myself up to it, but it's pretty hard to solo it. I can do it, it's just I have to be on the ball. This is about 50 runs worth of stuff to disenchant. And I go through and just spam DE it all, sell the stuff, buy some BOEs for my guys. And this is all the off pieces that my guys didn't use, obviously. And I think during this time was the winter event, so I was able to get pretty easy emblems of Frost, pretty easy trinkets, that kind of thing. So I really wanted to get my guys leveled up quickly so that I could take advantage of the trinkets. So, yeah. Going through, just trying to keep the economy going while doing raiding, while making new guys, trying to find some kind of balance in there. Kind of got lost in the sauce at a couple of points, but finally got 25 guys to around 5k. It's time to do ICC rep farm times 25, so I didn't have to do it multiple times to get them all rings. It took about 3 to 4 hours to get I think it's the level 3 ring, the one before the best. And then I was able to do 25-man weekly quests, so OS 25. It's not super pretty. It was my first or second time going there, but I was able to down the boss, that's all that matters. Definitely had learned a lot as far as fine-tuning and trying out HotKeyNet versus Iceboxer. And not a big fan of Iceboxer, but you know, it's got good sides and bad sides to both programs. And then along with the disenchanting stuff, I had about 6 months worth of lockboxes saved up. Maybe a year. I can't remember the last time I did a big lockbox opening, but I saved up, I think it was about 130 of the blue lockboxes and about 60 to 70 of the green lockboxes, the Northwind ones, and a handful of miscellaneous ones that had cool T-Mog items in it. So that was a nice additional source of income. Definitely not as good as just running heroics. Lockboxes are kind of meh, you know, as far as profit goes. But then it became time to try it again. I had all my guys BOE'd out, had them all 5.5 or thereabouts. Bye. And time to hit up Archimonde again. So this time in Mount Hyjal, 25 dudes. I had 4 Resto Shaman, 3 Ret Paladins, 3 Boomies, a Paladin tank, a DK tank, and the rest were all Shadow Priests for healing and mana. There was a Warlock in there as well, Demo Lock, just for spell power buff, because most of my guys are spell power. And yeah, went a lot smoother. Imagine that, with 25 people in there. So I was able to scream through Hyjal in about 45 minutes. Not super fast, but not slow either. Considering the raid back in the day was a 3 to 4 hour excursion, you know, to eat up your whole night kind of thing. But this is good practice as well for like fine-tuning the macros and getting my positioning down. Like, I've learned to use melee characters in my multibox team because of this, which has been pretty huge. Now I've got 5 Death Knights, most of them are unholy, one's Frost, and they all have tank offsets around 5.5. So I'm going to continue gearing them up and just being able to rotate different dudes in my team for like the Black Temple fight you'll see later in this video was not super easy. Council fight in particular, you have to actually use the strats a little bit. You can't just manhandle it and go in there and zug, and even though you're level 80 and there's 25 of you.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
They still hit pretty hard. They'll kill all your clothies, they'll kill all your healers. There's guys that have mechanics you have to follow. So here we are, back at Archimonde again. And yeah, this goes a lot smoother. He actually died so fast that I didn't realize that he was dead. It was pretty sweet. So pretty happy with that achievement there. I was a TBC raider during retail, so 2007-ish, for the better part of 2 years, and we were able to get through most of Sunwell before they nerfed it, and then as soon as they nerfed it, we downed most of the stuff within the month. You know, back in the day. But, you know, just kind of a cool trip down the old nostalgia way. And yeah, it's made me happy I was able to do this. So cool for getting T-Mogs, cool for just the sake of it. You know, these guys obviously drop a lot of gold being raid bosses, but that's not really why I'm there. You know, there's more efficient ways to farm, but I was just going for the tiny flex, you know. Anyway, that made me happy, being able to finally down him. So, as I said earlier, the council fight in Black Temple. Honestly, the rest of the raid so far, up to the second to last boss, council, was a joke. It was super easy. Supremus, the second boss, he did wipe me once because all my dudes were stacked and there's fire in the ground that chases people. So That didn't turn out super well, but I, res, ran back, adjusted, spread my guys out, and was able to down them the second try. So I've done Black Temple runs a couple of times now. Tried it, I think, 3 times, and my adjustment going forward is going to be I need more physical DPS, more tanky dudes versus squishy Shadow Priests, and a few more healers, because I only have 4 healers, which is pretty good, but they're literally just spamming chain heal. So they're not targeting who they need to target, it's bouncing all over the place. I also went through and made 3 of the Ret Paladins have Holy, so they're 5.5 gear score Holy Paladins with around 700 MP5, which is obviously not how you would want to gem or gear your guys up for raids, but they're not for raids. They're for spamming Holy Light the entire fight and never going home. At least that's the plan. So I haven't been able to put that into practice yet and give it a shot, but I'm working on those baby Death Knights a little bit still. They're approaching 6k, so I've got 5 more Death Knights I can bring in next time, and not all my Shadow Priests, 5 of my Shadow Priests are 6k, and then 4 of them are 6.4 or 6.5. So they're getting really geared. So a few adjustments. I had to make, more healers. So I made 4 more Resto Shaman. Because if you're going to level up 1 guy on Warmane, you might as well level up 4 dudes at the same time. It's in a lot of my videos and it's pretty well known, but if you space your guys out, it's roughly 100 yards, and to figure that out, it's like twice casting distance. All of your little dudes will get full experience, so it doesn't get cut in quarter or fists. So while I work on my Death Knights, I figured I'd give Tempest Keep a try, some tier 5 content, see how that treated me. And phase 1 of all the bosses in TKs up to Kael'thas were super easy. Trash is easy, everything in there is just steamrolled through, but the Kael'thas fight, you have to follow the strats. There's too much AoE damage. There's Flame Strike, does like 9 to 10k per second, and if all you guys are grouped up like I did on my first try, you will wipe. So here again, I only have 4 Shaman healers. This is before I got my Shaman geared up, and yeah, pretty much the first time was a disaster. I spent like 45 minutes on Kael, so like 3 attempts I think, and kind of gave up at that point because it was pretty clear to me that I needed more healers. So I came back with 3 more Shaman and spaced my guys out this time, inched them forward, tried to be a little bit more careful, and I brought my Death Knights now because they're starting to do a little bit more damage. And phase 1 and 2 and 3 were pretty easy, but it probably would have benefited me from a little bit more to stick to the strats. Like one of my Shadow Priests got AoE launched onto the balcony to the hard right of the whole stage. So at one point, one of my attempts, I got Kael down to 17%, and he targeted that dude to cast a spell, and he evaded and reset. So I was pretty angry. But, it's all a learning process, so I just gotta stick to it and adapt. And the next time when I go to TK, I was going to try to make some specific healing groups. Like, the damage is not a problem. The guys melt. I'm doing good damage to all of them, and it's just the healing and not facing the same way. There's no easy way to make your guys all face the same way without making them all bunch up, which is what happened on my next attempt. I got flame striked while my guys were grouped up, and even with all the extra Shaman, it just wasn't enough to heal through it. So I got my Shaman more geared now. I could also spec my Paladins that I brought into Holy and just get more heals. That would probably help a lot, but I'm pretty happy with the progress on this still. I was able to get him to 30% a couple of times, and then 17% on my last try. Now I was like, all right, I gotta take a break. It's kind of grueling when you have to res 25 dudes or 24 characters or run back with all those guys. It's literally exhausting. And sometimes you get WoW errors. Sometimes, your computer has issues or didn't record right. On this one that you'll see here, my Windows got all messed up, so I've got a giant black space on my recording. I'm like, perfect, But it was one of my better attempts, so I figured I'd include it in here, even with the video formatting issues. So some other goals get asked pretty frequently, what's the point of multiboxing with that many dudes? I'm like, well, honestly, there's no point. Like, you can do team aug runs, you can do some cool stuff, but what I really wanted to be able to do was ICC10, solo. I just figured it'd be really cool, and I know people have done it before, but I'm still learning. So this has kind of been my journey so far, just making this video and going through the footage over and over, just editing it down, fast forwarding stuff so it's a little bit more watchable and less boring. If I've noticed a lot of things that I could improve, like, I'm pretty sure my guys are still standing in fire, having multiple targets, like if I press F, it follows my focus. Maybe I could set up U on my keyboard to follow a different target, that kind of thing. I think that would be pretty handy. And then setting up, little groups within the group, like the range wall follow the paladin target, and the melee wall follow the DK. And then I gotta have like an overriding macro that will make them all follow each other. Different things, but went pretty good. I did 2 attempts on Marigar and down on my second try. Lady, I think I did 2 attempts as well and was able to down her and got Whisper Fang Skull for one of my new characters. It was pretty dope. Just slowly progressing through it. I did Gunship. The first time I went through, I lost the footage because I wasn't pressing record, and that's pretty infuriating. But I take lots of breaks in between all these polls too, because it's a trial by fire. So I did Gunship, got Deathbringer Starfang, got Fester and Rotface, and didn't record any of it. So that was pretty big oof, but at least the first 2 bosses recorded, and I've tried it a few other times. It's like my 3rd or 4th time now. I think it's my 3rd time. I've gone back and redone ICC10, and I got up to Gunship, and the fight was so buggy. I don't know if it was something on my end, lag, server, whatever, but it was a disaster. Like, one time, half my guys couldn't see the ship, so they couldn't jump over to. Another time, the multiboxing strategy is you jump over to the ship, kill the sorcerer, and then you jump off the ship so that your guys get teleported back to your ship and rinse and repeat. Well, half my guys fell to their death. They just fell and fell and fell. So that sucked. And then I had a few times, like, I think it was 2 or 3 times in a row where everything was looking good, got the first sorcerer down, went back over to the boat the second time, and nobody on the second boat could cast anything. I couldn't attack, I couldn't heal, I couldn't get the sorcerer down, so I was never going to be able to kill the boss. So at that point I was like, alright, I'm either doing something critically wrong or it's being buggy for whatever reason, and kind of tabled it for now. So if you have any ideas, or if you ran into that problem, let me know. And if you figured it out, I've watched quite a few videos on other people doing it, Gunship solo, and I thought I understood the strategy, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. Still learning, all that good stuff. But thanks for watching, and I'm going to try and post a little bit more regularly. I hope you enjoy, and look forward to the next video, and I'll try to actually press record next time. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Laters.